there's like a fine mist of LANOSHIELD across the entire body of the car.
I don't know, I'm kind of in two minds about it now. I'm like, quite a big issue for these kind of underseals, you know. I think it's snowing.
Oh, probably should put a mask on. Stage 2 is going to be rub down, stage 3, squirt down. Right, that's phase 1 done. So the steam cleaned the bottom, pressure washed it, whatever you want to call it. Basically like what you get if you took a commercial vehicle for an MOT or whatever. So that's all done now. But yeah, so we'll wait for that to dry. So it'll probably be tomorrow night now. I'll come out and then just give it a good scrub down, clear any of the flaky stuff off, and then we're ready to apply the LANOSHIELD. So yeah, that's stage 1. Stage 2 is going to be rub down, stage 3, squirt down. So stick with us.
Right, so tonight is the night that we're doing the underseal. So I think it's about -1, something like that. And I've got my little kit down here on the floor. So we've got I keep going to call it Lanoguard, but it's not Lanoguard, it's LANOSHIELD. It's the cheaper version, although when you add all the bits in of Lanoguard, it's probably not that different. But we went for LANOSHIELD because at the time it felt like a good deal, but it's probably not. So that's warming up in a bowl of water now. And we've got eye protection, I've got a face mask as well I'm going to wear, got overalls on because this is going to get messy. Basically when you spray this stuff, same with Lanoguard as well, it's like oil just vaporizing out everywhere and it just floats around and gets on everything. So I did a few test sprays earlier on the wheel arches and my glasses were covered, my watches were covered. So yeah, it's messy stuff. Not as bad as waxoil, so you know it's going to be easier than that, but I think it's snowing. Well, that was certainly a nice and greasy job. I'm just got to the point where the glare from the work light underneath the car, I couldn't even see what I was doing because of all the grease on these. Just giving them a little rub down with this, and that'll give them a proper wash off later. But yeah, it was it actually went on really easy. So once you get that spray head, the nozzle adjusted right, it comes out in quite a wide fan. So that's pretty much it for tonight. What I'll do is I'll just give you a quick view underneath of what it looks like now when it's wet, and then a couple of days, let it dry, let it set, because like I said, I've gone on pretty heavy and it's like -1 tonight at the moment. So you know, it's probably going to take a few days to really go off, and then we'll have a look what it looks like. But in the arches you could see it kind of like a matte finish, and then places where it was a bit heavier it was still glossy. So I think that's probably what we're going to expect, but it immediately makes the rust look better underneath anyway. So where I'd got some surface rust that was really orange, you know, it goes that sort of deep brown, like dark, almost virgin on black, not totally, but virgin on black sort of colour. So yeah, within the space of probably 50 minutes I've got my stuff outside, set it all up, rubbed off some of the shaky flaky bits, and then sprayed it down and covered the hole underneath the car in you know, about 50 minutes. So that's brilliant. And obviously there's people out there that go to way more depth. You know, I just pressure washed it down, rubbed down some of the flaky bits, and then just coated everything. People would come out with angle grinders, you know, strip off all the old underseal. But if you look at, there's not a lot of information about LANOSHIELD, but if you look at Lanoguard, Lanoguard actually say, you know, you can apply this to old underseal, just remove the flaky stuff and then put it over the top. So this stuff's the same, you know, they're basically the same product, probably just a few differences in concentrations and stuff like that. So just so you know, I wasn't lying about the snow. Check that out, we had a little dusting.
Right, so the undersealing is all done on the car now, but what I've noticed, and it's been done for just just under a week, is the overspray from this stuff is phenomenal. So I was underneath predominantly spraying, obviously sprayed inside the wheel arches as well, so nothing really kind of up in the air, but the entire body of Oscar is covered in this stuff. So I don't know if you've ever... So yeah, generally you wouldn't be able to hear the paintwork making that noise. And you might not pick it up on the mic because the mic noise cancels, but yeah, it's really, really grainy. If we flip the camera around, maybe through the glass, you might see some of it as well, or on the roof. There's like a fine mist of LANOSHIELD across the entire body of the car, and including roof, windows, everything, it's covered. And I don't think, from memory, I don't think I was spraying in particularly windy conditions, although I was aware that there was some drift coming this way, but from underneath the car. So for it to actually whip up and go on the roof, I'm quite surprised at that. And don't get me wrong, I haven't tried washing it off yet, so it might just wash off as a breeze. You know, Oscar's quite heavily waxed anyway, so it might literally just you know, rinse off with hot water and it's not a problem. But it is worth paying attention to that if you're going to do it near to other cars or near your house, or you know, anything that you want protected. I think it'd be quite hard to sort of cover up the car and complete the process of the underseal. So just something to bear in mind when you do that. But I'll just give you a quick look underneath and kind of show you what it's like now. It's had time to cure off. So what it does say is it should cure off to almost like a candle wax, so it doesn't fully set, but it's got that kind of appearance and texture. So let's take a look. So this is under the near side sill. So some of the rustiest sections on the car were actually the manifold exhaust, so that was showing some real sort of vivid rust colours, and actually it's dulled down nicely now. And what you notice is it kind of gives you that effect, a bit like what you see on the American cars, where you have heavily patinaed cars and they rub the linseed oil in and it kind of dulls it down and gives it that nice sort of deep brown colour, and that's kind of what we've seen here with this. I'm actually really impressed with the coverage it's given. I did everything, so the exhaust done because it's heat resistant, and you can kind of, when I touch it, it's tacky, like you can feel it when you're touching it. It's kind of tacky, but so it's not, it doesn't ever fully dry out, and that's kind of what you get. It says that you get this sort of, you get the seep effect, so it seeps into the rust, gets inside it, and that's kind of what gives you that good protection. So I'm really impressed with it so far. I think, you know, we'll give it 6 months, come to reapply it, and we'll have a look and see how it's performed. But so far, other than that kind of overspray that I've got, I'm pretty impressed with it.
Right, so quick update, because I said I would if there was issues getting the LANOSHIELD off of the bodywork, and there actually is. So I've been trying now to get the LANOSHIELD off the bodywork. The glass and the black roof are the worst. So the actual body, because it's quite a light colour, you don't tend to see it, and whilst you can feel that gritty texture on there, at some point I'll DA polish the car anyway and it'll cut it off. But the roof and the glass are really disappointing, and they've been really bad and really difficult to get off. So I tried a normal car shampoo, that didn't work. I've tried a really heavily concentrated washing up liquid wash, gave it a really good scrub with a microfiber mitt to remove it, really hot water as well, almost too hot that I could barely touch the sponge. That didn't do it. So the success I've found is on the glass at the moment. I've just gone for a rubbing alcohol or terps has worked as well. So both those have actually stripped the stuff off the glass and put it on. It leaves it kind of smeary, where it's almost like melting the oil and the grease, and then go over it with a dry microfiber, and it just takes that residue off. But I can show you that it's, I don't know if you can see on here now, but where I tried to leave a line where I'd cleaned, so like over here this section's quite clean, but it is, there we go, look, so you can still see that like fleck in there. That's not the paint fleck, that's the roof's flat, is a flat black. So those dots you're seeing is the Lanoguard within the paint. So There's quite a lot of heavy swell in that roof now as well, because I've been going at it really hard with the sponge and it still hasn't cleared it off. So I'm quite disappointed with that and how difficult it is to remove. Now, Lanoguard sell a Lano remover, I think it's called, or something like that, to take it off, but that's like another 16 quid a bottle. And from what you expect is this is going to be a quick job, and it actually turns out not to be a quick job, because then you've got to DA polish your car to remove it all, you've got to wash it down, DA polish it, get it all clear. Now, had I noticed it straight after application, maybe the story would have been different, but I'm not sure. Like, I mean, straight after application, you don't really want to be washing the car down, because you've just put fresh underseal on, so you know it'll drip down into the maybe underneath and affect that. So you kind of want to leave it a few days, but then the problem is once it's cured and it's very difficult to get off. So I don't know, I'm kind of in two minds about it now. I'm like, should I just take it to, like, there's a place near me called Crown Underseal, take it to them and just get them to do a job where they put it up on the jacks, clean it off, put the underseal on, done for a couple of years then, and you don't have to worry. And whereas this is, you know, 6 months to a year application every year, and if this is an issue, I don't really want to have to go to the hassle of masking off and covering the entire car, because it kind of defeats the point of this being an easy process. And again, the time and effort that has to go in now to try and get this excess overspray off, which honestly, when I sprayed it, there was a slight drift coming this way, but I predominantly sprayed a lot from that side, so the drift came out this way. I didn't expect it to lift up and go to this extent on the body. I don't know whether that's just me and I maybe had unrealistic expectations of the product, but I haven't seen anybody mention this before, and I think it is quite a big issue for these kind of underseals. You know, waxoil, because it's quite dense, it just sticks on where you're spraying it, and it doesn't go out into the atmosphere, whereas this is kind of, the droplets have come out and gone and sat everywhere. So I don't know, I still recommend it as an easy product to apply, but the fact is you're going to have to go to extra lengths to get a good result in terms of your bodywork, you know. So I'm going to DA polish the roof, I'm going to clear all that off, because the roof is the bit where you see it the most. Luckily the paintwork is a light colour, so you don't notice it on there, other than when it was really heavy. But with the 2 washes I've done, that's kind of dulled it down now, so you don't really see it. It's almost smooth, almost, not totally, but almost. But yeah, quite disappointed with it. So we'll still do another review in 6 months to see how it's holding up underneath. And in the meantime, I'm going to go and clean my windows with terps and DA polish that roof. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video.